So, is rust ruining your favorite tools and hardware? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to discover some easy and really effective ways to restore all your metal items. We're going to cover everything from commercial solutions like rust converters and chemical removers, to abrasive tools and even some cool DIY tricks using stuff you probably already have, like white vinegar, baking soda, and salt. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to make your metal tools, furniture, and household items look brand new again.
Yep, we're going to learn all of that today right here on Everyday Simple Science with Ray. Hey, if you're new here, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and share it around. It really helps us reach new people who are curious about the what, why, and how of the universe.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we gotta know our enemy, right? So what even is rust? Then we'll build our at-home rust-busting toolkit. After that, we'll break down the difference between rust removers and converters you see at the store. We even geek out on some really advanced reversal methods. Then we'll ask the big question, can you actually unrust metal? And of course, we'll finish with the best trick of all, how to stop rust before it even start.
Okay, first things first. To beat rust, you've got to understand it. So what exactly is this reddish-brown stuff that's slowly eating away at our favorite metal things?
You know, rust isn't just a simple stain you can wipe off. Oh no, it's a deep down chemical change. The science name is, well, it's a mouthful, hydrated iron 3 oxide. But all you really need to know is that through a process called oxidation, the actual iron atoms have turned into something completely new. It's a total transformation.
And here is the simple but super important recipe for rust. You need 3 things: iron, oxygen, and water. That's it. If you take away just one of those ingredients, the reaction just can't happen. It's exactly why a wrench left in the dry desert air is fine, but one left out in your damp garage, well, you know how that ends.
All right, enough of the science lesson. Let's get to the good stuff. It's time to fight back with some really practical solutions you can use today, probably with things you already have sitting around the house.
So we can basically break down all our rust-fighting methods into 3 main groups. First up, you've got the stuff you buy at the store, the commercial solutions. Then there's the good old-fashioned mechanical approach, using abrasive tools. And finally, my favorite, some really clever DIY tricks using everyday household stuff.
So when you're at the hardware store, you've really got 2 main options. Think of rust converters as a containment crew. They don't actually get rid of the rust, they just chemically change it into a stable black surface that you can paint right over. Then you have the chemical removers. These are more like a search and destroy mission. They use powerful acids to completely dissolve the rust, bringing you all the way back to clean, bare metal.
Now, if you'd rather skip the chemicals, you can always rely on some good old elbow grease. Abrasive tools literally just scrape the rust off. It's definitely effective, but you gotta be careful. Since you're physically scraping away material, it's pretty easy to scrape off some of the good metal along with the bad. Okay, on to our first DIY trick, and it's a classic for a reason.
When tools become rusted, most people either stop using them or they toss them out. You almost never need to do that, because some of the best tools are old tools. So you can save them and remove that rust using just some white vinegar. About 24 hours ago, I took this plastic bin, put in a bunch of rusted tools, then filled it with white vinegar. In fact, you can see a lot of that rust has already come off. You can see that sediment has come off. I haven't even touched them yet. They've just been soaking. Now, I usually recommend leaving them in the vinegar for about 48 hours. But here, after just 24 hours, get a small wire brush and start scrubbing the rust off. Doesn't really take much effort. You can see how easily it comes off. Here's a pair of wire snips. Look how badly rusted that is. And just, look at that, almost like brand new. Now, once you get all the rust off, you want to dry it really well. That's important. Then spray it with a little lubricant. You won't have to worry about rust.
Next up, baking soda. This one's great for things that have lighter rust or maybe are a bit more delicate. Just mix some baking soda with a little water till you get a nice thick paste, kind of like toothpaste. Slather that paste on the rusty spot, let it sit and do its thing for a few hours, and you'll find the rust scrubs away way easier.
And for our last home remedy, we've got a real power couple, salt and lime. Okay, let's circle back to those commercial products for a sec. Imagine you're standing in the store aisle, staring at two bottles. One says rust remover, the other says rust converter. Which one do you grab? Well, knowing the difference is everything if you want to get the job done right. So, how do you make the call? It really comes down to one question. What's your end goal? Do you need to get back to shiny bare metal? Or are you just planning to seal the rust up and paint over it? Your answer tells you exactly which bottle to pick. This chart breaks it down perfectly. A remover, that's the one with something like oxalic acid. It dissolves the rust completely. The result? Bare metal. But a converter uses a different acid, usually tannic acid, which doesn't dissolve rust. Instead, it reacts with it and turns it into a hard, stable black primer. That makes it your go-to choice for spots that are hard to sand or if you're just going to paint over it anyway.
Okay, so we've covered all the stuff you can do at home. Now, let's geek out a little bit. Let's look at some of the seriously cool high-tech methods that the pros and even museum conservators use to fight rust.
Now, I know this looks a little complicated, but the idea behind it is actually pretty amazing. Think of rust as a one-way chemical reaction. Well, electrolysis uses a bit of electricity to basically hit the rewind button on that process, chemically convincing the rust to change back into iron.
And would you look at that? That is the result. This old, super rusty horseshoe has been through electrolysis. And you can see, the process didn't just clean it, it actually chemically converted some of that rust back into a solid iron core. This is exactly why it's the top choice for saving priceless historical artifacts.
And here we have the ultimate showdown, brute force versus surgical precision. SandBlasting is pure power. It just blasts the rust away with tiny particles. It's super fast, but it's messy, and it can damage the good metal underneath. But then, you've got laser ablation, and this is straight out of science fiction. A high-powered laser literally vaporizes the rust off the surface so precisely that it doesn't even touch the good metal. It's clean, it's contactless, it's just incredible.
So, after seeing all these methods, from vinegar all the way to lasers, it brings up a really important question. When we do all this, are we actually reversing the rust? Let's dig into the fundamental truth of what's really going on.
This is a really key distinction to make. I mean, when you're scrubbing the rust off an old tool, are you really turning back the clock on the damage, or are you just cleaning up the mess?
And here's the tough answer. For most of these methods, no, you're not reversing it. When you use vinegar or a wire brush, you're simply removing the damaged layer. All those iron atoms that turn into rust, they're gone for good. You've actually lost a tiny bit of the original object forever.
See, true reversal means chemically turning the iron oxide back into iron. And this is what makes a method like electrolysis so amazing. It's not just cleaning the surface, it's actually restoring some of that lost material back into a stable metal, saving the object in a way that just scrubbing never could.
Okay, we've spent a lot of time talking about how to fix the rust problem. But you know what they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So let's finish with the best strategy of all, how to stop rust from ever even getting started.
The name of the game is always the same. You have to create a barrier between the metal and the elements. You can do that with a simple coat of paint, a layer of oil, or even a tough coating of enamel. Or you can get a little more clever. Galvanization, for example, coats iron with zinc, and that zinc basically sacrifices itself. It rusts so the iron doesn't have to. And of course, the ultimate solution is to make the metal itself rust-proof, like they do with stainless steel.
So there you have it.
From simple kitchen ingredients to high-energy lasers, you now have a complete toolkit for fighting back against rust. It kind of makes you look around your own house or garage, doesn't it? What's the first rusty treasure you're going to bring back to life?
I really hope you found this guide useful. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to Everyday Simple Science with Ray, give this video a big thumbs up, and share it with anyone else who's in a battle with rust. Oh, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next explainer. Thanks so much for watching.